Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all that financial noise, the jargon, the feeling of being overwhelmed. We all kind of want to get rich, right? But it feels so complicated sometimes, like it's just for other people or you need some crazy luck. So today, we've got some fantastic sources you shared, expert advice, real stories, and our mission: simplify things, challenge some old ideas, give you stuff you can actually use. Think of it as your shortcut to getting smart about money without the headache. Okay, let's unpack this. So our sources kick off with this idea: understanding money is like speaking a language. But a really basic part of that language, the difference between debit and credit cards,
Yeah.
lots of people get tripped up there.
That's exactly right. I mean, honestly, for most Americans, financial education kind of stops in high school. So these strategic differences get missed. Debit cards feel safe. Yeah, it's your money. But the fraud protection, it's minimal. If someone steals it, the bank might just say, well, that's your money gone. It can be a real nightmare. And crucially, they do nothing for your credit score.
Oh, tell me about it. That's such a huge thing. When I first moved to the US from London, where, credit wasn't quite the same beast, I had literally zero credit score for like a year. Getting anything done, car, apartment, felt impossible. Big wake-up call to this whole financial language.
It's absolutely fundamental. Credit cards, if you use them right, pay off that balance every single month. They're really the foundation, the underpinning of building wealth. They help you build that vital credit history. The fraud protection is way stronger, usually just a couple clicks and a bad charge is gone. Plus, you get perks, points, whatever. It's all about using what we call good debt.
Yeah.
The wealthiest people, they understand this. They use debt strategically on assets, not, just maxing out cards for stuff.
Okay, so we've got the basics down, but then there's the current climate, right? All these headlines screaming, it's a terrible time to make money, or the market's going crazy, or what should you actually be thinking about right now?
It is tough out there, that feeling. It's real. Wages. Honestly, in real terms, they've barely moved in decades. But housing prices, they've, exploded. Dave Ramsey mentioned they're up maybe 9 times in his lifetime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what was normal for, say, our parents' generation, it's just not affordable for many now. But here's the twist, the counterintuitive part. Warren Buffett's famous line: be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. And Baron Rothschild, one of the richest guys ever, he said, buy when there's blood in the streets.
Yeah.
Even if it's your own blood, metaphorically speaking.
So the opportunities actually pop up when things feel the absolute worst.
Precisely. Often the real money, the smart money, is made when the market feels scary. Like housing prices in Austin, down 30% since I bought my place a year ago. Remember that NFT that sold for, what, $60 million?
Yeah, crazy.
It's worth maybe $19,000 today. These are assets effectively on sale. It feels uncomfortable, sure, but these are the moments to actually look for smart moves, not just run and hide, activate that spidey sense,
Okay, this leads straight into a really big one: homeownership. It's baked into the American dream. But in this market, should you even be aiming for that anymore?
It's interesting. For maybe the first time ever, purely as an investment, owning a home right now, mathematically, it's often not the smartest move. You've got interest rates at, 5 to 8%. There's a huge housing shortage, like 3 million homes short in the U.S., and wages are flat while prices are soaring. The math just doesn't work for a lot of people, and you shouldn't feel like a failure if you're not buying. Actually, renting can be a really smart financial choice right now. Plus, it's a great time to try and negotiate your rent. Landlords often prefer keeping a good tenant when the market's shaky.
Okay, so moving past just understanding the market, when it comes to actually making money proactively, what's different now? What should people be focusing on compared to, say, a year ago?
Yeah, great question. It often brings up side hustles, right? Everyone's talking about them. My take: be careful about going all in on your passion project straight away. That advice. It often comes from what we call survivorship bias. We hear the success stories, but not the 90% of startups that fail within 5 years.
Right. You only see the winners.
Exactly. A smarter approach, I think. Keep your main job, do really well there, use that salary to fund your side hustle, your next idea. Only make the leap when that side thing genuinely covers your living costs. The data actually shows you've got a 33% higher chance of success if you keep that income stream going. You make better choices when you're not desperate.
And what if you want to start a business but feel like, I just don't have the money?
Ugh, that's a huge mindset block. It's almost never about a lack of money. It's usually a lack of knowledge about how to get money. Seriously, the richest people, they almost never use only their own money for big ventures. There are loads of options. Small Business Administration, the SBA, they have grants, especially for minorities, women, businesses meeting core needs. The SBA also does loans, sometimes covering up to 90% of a business purchase price. There are even specific websites now, like Percent, that connect investors with small businesses needing debt financing. You just got to change that belief that you need to be rich first to even start.
Okay, let's talk about another buzzword. Passive income. Sounds amazing, right? Money while you sleep. But is it real? Is it a myth?
Passive income is mostly a tax term. It's not really money if I do nothing. Think about, like, vending machines. People say that's passive. Let me tell you, it's not.
Right. They break down.
They break, they get vandalized, you got to restock them. They can make money in aggregate. Yeah, but there's constant work involved. Honestly, I think the desire for passive income often comes from something deeper. Like 87% of Americans don't like their jobs. So we want passive because we hate what we actively do. What we really want is meaningful work that pays well, not necessarily doing nothing.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So if passive income isn't the magic bullet and side hustles need a smart strategy, what about that classic advice? Just follow your passion.
Ugh. Anyone telling you to just follow your passion is probably already rich. It sounds lovely, but it's often terrible advice. Think about Joe Gebbia, one of the Airbnb founders. Was he passionate about air mattresses? No. He learned to love the game of building a business. We often mix up hobbies we enjoy with skills people will actually pay for. There's this concept, the boring, sexy matrix.
Yeah, tell me more.
Basically, it shows that the more, boring or overlooked an industry seems, often the higher the income potential. Look at acting, for example. SAG-AFTRA has, 187,000 members? Over 80% of them don't make enough to qualify for health insurance. Average actor income in LA, maybe $23,000. Now compare that to, say, finance. Pretty much everyone makes their living from their main job there. It's not about giving up what you love, but you got to be creative. If you love acting, okay, where's the money around acting? Does it have to be just being on screen? Probably not.
That resonates so much. Growing up, I desperately wanted a talk show. Realized pretty quickly no one was just going to hand one to me. So you figure out how to create it yourself, right? Which is kind of what we're doing here. Okay, let's switch gears. For people who are employees working in a company, what actually allows someone to be great, to really boost their income right where they are?
Okay, for employees, number one, understand how much money you actually make the company. Quantify your value. You might need to ask your boss to help figure that out. Number two, get a sense of the company's profit margins. Like if you bring in a $100 sale, does the company keep $20, $30? Once you know those two things, you can negotiate your salary based on the value you bring. Ask for a piece of the extra profit you generate. Money's often there if you know how to ask for it because you clearly earned it. And another thing, job hopping used to be the go-to. Jump ship every couple of years for a 20-25% raise. But these days, I actually think there's huge value in staying put sometimes, in diagnosing the company from within. You can potentially negotiate much bigger raises, maybe 25-50%, by really mastering skills, managing up, learning to negotiate internally. If you keep hopping, you miss developing those deeper leadership skills.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this for my own team. I call it the bricklayer to city planner framework. The bricklayer masters a task, the builder connects things, builds walls, the architect designs new stuff. But the city planner, they see the whole ecosystem, plan the future. It's not about just working harder or being busier. It's a different type of vision, right? More strategic, wider scope.
I love that. That's a great framework. It's kind of like moving up the NPC ladder in video games.
Explain that.
Well, non-player characters, they just stand there, say the same lines over and over. You want to become a main character, someone who actually changes the script of the company. And it links back to that saying, you don't leave bad jobs, you leave bad leaders. If people leave, often it's because they don't see a path to becoming that city planner, that main character where they are.
Exactly. And, sometimes becoming that city planner involves more than just your job description.
Yes.
I remember at Accenture, they had this thing, learn one professional skill, one personal skill, and one fascinating skill each year. I used my passion for teaching meditation. A friend used his photography skills. We ended up running little workshops, connecting with people way outside our usual teams. It built internal networks, visibility, all sorts of unexpected benefits. Okay, here's something that might sound a bit weird, but the sources really highlighted it. If you want to make more money, one of the fastest ways might just be about who you hang out with.
Oh, it's absolutely true. Humans are sponges. We're contagious. The data is pretty clear. If you have more friends earning over $100,000 a year, your own likelihood of making more money goes up by about 10%. And you're also like 3 to 5% more likely to invest more. Think about it. If you hang out with people who party all the time versus people who are hitting the gym at 6 a.m., it rubs off, right? Your environment shapes your habits, your mindset, everything. This even plays out in those awkward money chats with friends. You know, when you're young, trying to save, but everyone wants to go out and split the check evenly. It's tough.
Yeah, been there.
A good tactic. Just be upfront, but frame it gently. Like, hey, this is kind of embarrassing to bring up, but I'm really trying hard to save for X right now. Would you guys mind terribly if I just paid for my own stuff tonight? That little bit of vulnerability, that confession of embarrassment, it creates empathy. And often, someone else at the table is feeling the exact same way but was too scared to say it. You unlock it for them. And speaking of subtle indicators, here's a weird one. The lipstick theory.
Lipstick theory.
Yeah. So during really bad economic times like after 9/11, when the markets crashed, lipstick sales actually jumped up, like 11%. The idea is people cut back on big expensive luxuries, but they'll spend a little on small affordable treats to make themselves feel a bit better. And apparently, it's happening again right now.
Wow. Okay, so shifting from friends to partners, how much does who you choose as a life partner actually impact your finances?
Oh, massively. The statistics are pretty stark. Married couples, on average, earn over 30% more than non-married couples. Yeah. And their net worth. Over their careers, it ends up being almost 3 times higher than someone who stays single.
3 times? That's huge.
It's huge. So yeah, prioritizing finding a good partner, it's not just about romance. It's a really significant financial strategy. A lot of really successful people I've listened to talk about how having that stable partnership just frees up so much mental energy and focus, allows them to direct more power towards building their career or business.
Yeah.
And this is why having those upfront, honest money conversations is so critical. For ambitious people, especially women, sometimes there's this fear of seeming, I don't know, intimidating or aggressive. But it's really about clear communication, right? Articulating your goals, but also listening, collaborating, respecting the other person. I know I've had to learn that sometimes you got to listen more, not just push your own agenda to build real partnership.
Which brings us to a potentially awkward topic. Prenups. Prenuptial agreements. What's your take? Necessary? Overkill?
Always sign a prenup. Always. But don't think of it as planning for divorce. Think of it as an opportunity, maybe the best opportunity, to have every single hard conversation you need to have before you commit your lives together. Do you have the same vision, same values? How do you handle conflict, especially about money? A prenup forces those talks. Honestly, your bank account is often just a reflection of how willing you are to have those tough conversations. Delaying them just leads to misalignment down the road. And it's the same with joint versus separate bank accounts. People get hung up on the structure. But the real question isn't the account type. It's, do we trust each other's spending? Are we going to communicate openly about money? Yeah. What are our expectations? Marriage, historically, was a business contract, right? Now we've blended it with love, which is great, but the practical side still matters, my personal philosophy. Marry someone you trust to get you out of a third world prison. Someone who's truly got your back no matter what.
That's a high bar. But I get, it's funny with my wife, we were together ages before we started a business. But now, we keep things totally separate, different roles. We don't even take meetings together. Because, like you said, the partnership is primary. I married her because I love spending time with her, not so we can argue about profit margins over dinner. Protecting that personal space is vital for us. Okay, final stretch. Let's get into direct investment advice. Someone's listening, they've maybe got $1,000 saved up, never invested before. Where do they even start?
Right, so think of investing in maybe 4 stages. Stage 1, and this is the most important, invest in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your health. That's the best returning asset class of all time, period. Unlimited upside, it compounds forever. Bet on you first, always. Okay, stage 2. For most people starting out, low-cost diversified index funds. Think S&P 500 trackers. Look, trying to beat the professional traders. It's mostly a losing game for beginners. Platforms like Vanguard are great low fees, easy to set up diversified portfolios. They can help you figure out the mix, like maybe 60% stocks, 40% bonds, or 80-20 if you're younger and can handle more risk.
In that diversification, just to be clear, what's the point of that mix?
It's that classic, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Stocks give you growth potential, right? Betting on companies doing well long-term. But bonds, they provide stability, income. They tend to move differently than stocks. You kind of need both for balance, especially to beat inflation. Inflation just eats away at your cash. That $100 bill from the 70s, worth maybe $25 today in real terms. Investing is how you fight that. A balanced portfolio like this aims for maybe around 10% average return over the long haul. And the key, automate it. Set up an automatic transfer, at least 10% of your after-tax income, every single month. Pay yourself first. Make it non-negotiable. Then you get to stage 3. This is more for, like, the pros. Private equity, direct real estate, maybe commodities, complex stuff like options. Seriously, don't try to gamify the stock market with options when you're starting out. It's like trying to do brain surgery watching a YouTube video. Bad idea. And stage 4, that's the ultimate level, becoming the company. Buying businesses outright, raising money for your own major venture. That's down the road.
Okay. So, on the flip side of investing wisely, what do you see people consistently wasting money on? Things that actively stop them from actually building wealth.
Oh, the biggest one. Trying to look rich instead of being rich. It's everywhere. Think about Coachella, right? The influencers you see there. Most are paid to go, get free tickets, free flights, even free clothes from warehouses.
Right, it's all staged.
Totally staged. Meanwhile, studies showed something like 64% of the actual ticket holders, the regular fans, couldn't afford their ticket outright. They use buy now, pay later. That's real debt, often high-interest debt. Traded for what? Instagram posts that disappear in 24 hours? It's madness. True success, lasting wealth. It's not about flashing fancy watches or cars. That stuff can vanish overnight. The millionaires I've learned from, they often don't seem to care that much about the stuff. They care about winning the game, about learning, about building something. Because nobody, except maybe God, can take away the lessons you learn. Nobody can take the relationships you build. But the market, yeah, it can take away your Lambo pretty quick.
Couldn't agree more. It's never been about getting the thing for me either. It's the process, the challenge, loving the game itself. Wow. Okay, we have covered a ton today. From really speaking the language of money, spotting opportunities even when things look bleak, to smart ways to earn more, whether in a job or starting something new, and even how much your friends and partners impact your bottom line. All while, hopefully, avoiding that trap of just looking rich. It really hammers home that building wealth isn't just about grinding harder. It's about understanding the rules, playing the game smartly, and building that support system. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. In a world screaming, hustle harder, or just follow your passion, even if the numbers don't add up, what's the one rule of money you're going to truly commit to respecting, to integrating, so you can genuinely start loving the game of building wealth? Thank you so much for breaking all that down today. Such clear, actionable wisdom. It's been fantastic. And to you listening, really hope you take these insights, think about what clicked, and start applying them. It's your journey. Go make it happen.